What am I really passionate about doing? Professional services, managing employees is no picnic.
No.
I have an elderly workforce. I have a millennial. I mean, all of those bring their own set of issues. So I came back to, what am I really passionate about doing? And that's where I'm taking my company. I'm passionate about air quality.
Right.
I'm passionate about making sure people can breathe clean air. And so I have been pivoting since January 1. And it has been joyful. It has been challenging. I have yet to, really get that first sale, but I'm working it.
Okay.
And so I think you have to really like what you do.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree 100%. And, actually, I can piggyback on a lot of what you said because at one point when I was doing construction, I had 23 employees, 5 teams. And like you said, 4 girls in the office. And it was managing people, I think, was the hardest part of the job. The projects you can kind of get through, but the people, man, they're just as dynamic as their personality. Every day was another fire, was another situation. So,
exactly. You're like, oh, it seems like it's running pretty smooth,
yeah.
And then bam,
No, it does. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's interesting. Let me ask you something. One thing that you mentioned in one of your write-ups was about having ADHD.
Yes.
Now I know when I was a kid, I'm 40, so I'm not a millennial. I'm just past that. But they called us hyper. So we didn't have the label so much of ADHD. Did you think that helped you or hurt you anyways in starting your business?
So what it has done is caused a lack of focus. So I'm like, the old thing about squirrel, and you're going along and you're like squirrel and over here and over here. And so because of that lack of focus, I feel like if I had found that niche to focus on and put all of my time and energy and passion into, that I would be a lot further along today in my business than I was.
Right. Okay.
And, because you have such a short attention span, it's whoever is in front of you at the moment.
Right.
That's where your focus is.
Right. Well, I can tell you this. I know that personally, most people that I hear or speak from, Linda, it would be difficult to turn down an opportunity, right? So, I know a lot of people are like, hey, I just want to get my first contract. There's a lot of people out here who have no contracts, and I think that they would jump at, if someone were to give them an opportunity or anything, even though they had like this niche, I would see them jumping at it. So I don't know. I think that we'd all want at least our first opportunity to try and start building a business up.
Oh, absolutely. And you need those 8A numbers. You need those relationships.
Right.
And you need to, use the program for as much as it's worth.
Right. Did you have, I know that they were introduced to your customers. Did you ever have to go out and try and meet new clients or new agencies that you hadn't worked with before?
Yes, I'm actually going to something this Thursday where it's exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you need to have your capability statement. You need to be friendly and nice and also follow up. So if they give you their information, their, point of contact information, make sure you have them on some kind of drip, where you talk to them 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Because if you're an 8A, they may all of a sudden have money and they remember you and they're going to direct an award.
Right. Let me ask you this. What do you believe is your single greatest attribute that contributed to your success at Dynagrace?
I would say that I don't give up.
Oh.
That I just keep trying. Perseverance.
I love it. Any particular stories that kind of stand out Like you said, maybe you were trying to reach out to someone that, you know, maybe a year later they gave you a contract that you can touch on?
You know, well, I would like to talk a little bit about our name change.
Okay.
You know, again, we're having that period of time, experiencing lots and lots of success, and all of a sudden I start to get these letters about our name.
What happened? I didn't see that anywhere. What happened? I didn't see that.
So we originally started as Sensory Technology Consultants,
Okay.
and there, about 5 years ago, I started to receive these letters, and about 2 weeks before I incorporated, a company called Sensory Technologies trademarked that name, and then they came after me
Really?
because it was similar, and you know, they had a really general statement in their trademark application that any business would fall under, and I fought it for a little bit because we were going after a huge IDIQ, and right in the middle of that, you can imagine a name change to change it in government systems, and novate contracts, and I mean all of these things. And in hindsight, I don't think I should have held on so long and simply just said, "Okay, your little lawyer fishing tactics are working," you know, and just change the name. So that's, you know, one of the things that when you incorporate, that you should make sure that there's no trademark for your business name.
You know, it's interesting. I've never considered that.
Because it costs a lot of money and a lot of effort to novate contracts.
I never considered that. So they went after you. Did they incorporate after you?
They were incorporated and they trademarked 2 weeks before I incorporated, so they weren't even on my radar, right?
Oh.
But evidently I was on theirs. So, and then, you know, in the court proceedings, they get the domain, they get everything, right? So
wow.
All of a sudden, all of your contacts that you've had for years going to this domain email are getting bounced.
Oh, man. All your past performance.
Well, I mean, that's all in a government system. So once you change your stamps and once you...
Okay, it did update it?
Yeah, so,
okay.
I mean, that's all associated with your DUNS number, right?
Yeah, I've never had a name change, so I'm not really sure how that would work. But, yeah, I wouldn't know. So, okay, so when you updated the DUNS, then it changed the name on the past.
The DUNS, yeah, the DUNS in the cage.
Okay.
So,
all right. Wow. Interesting. So they went after you, and they trademarked the name. I never considered that.